Good morning, students. Good morning to all. Last day we have studied the monetary economics. We have studied about the monetary economics. So, in this monetary economics, we have studied what's the meaning of money. You remember what's the meaning of money? So, money is anything that is generally accepted as payment for goods and services and repayment of debts and serve as a medium of exchange, and the store of value is considered as a money. Okay, for the purpose of exchanging the value of goods we need something, or for the purpose of buying and selling activities we must need one thing as a medium of exchange. Okay, so that things also have to be acceptable by throughout the world, all the people throughout the world. Okay, so the money is considered as a medium of exchange. Okay, so in the sense we can understand the money is anything that is generally accepted a payment for goods and services and repayment of debts and serve as a medium of exchange is called money. Otherwise, simply we said one definition is given by the Walker. So money is what money does. What money does? Money can do everything. So whatever we are doing by the help of money, that is called money. Another one of the definition is Crowther definitions. Have you remember? So money can be anything that is generally acceptable as a means of exchange and at the same time act as a measure and the store of value. Act as a measure and store of value. So we have to measuring the value of one commodity. Okay, in which basis we will be value one commodities on the basis of money. Okay, so in which basis we are valuing one commodities, that is called money. Okay, and we have to some storing value. Okay, the value of store. How can we store the commodity? Suppose we have the more assets, we cannot store, but in the form of money we can store. In which form we can store value of commodities, that is called money. Okay, so as per the Crowther, money can be anything that is generally acceptable as a means of exchange and at the same time act as a measure and store of value. And we have studied some of the evaluation of money, right? In this evaluation of money, first one is barter system. So there was so many critical, because of that, so the barter system came to an end. So after that, metallic standard, gold standard, silver standard might have been introduced. Okay, last one is paper currency. Okay, till we are using the paper currency for exchange the goods and commodities. So after that, some of the improvement of banking sector and the exchange of money system is introduced the plastic money. For the example, credit card, ATM card, debit card, and some of the demat account, everything is considered as a plastic money. So another one of the advanced money, cryptocurrency. So this type of the cryptocurrency is a digital currency in which some of the encryption techniques are used to regulate the generation of unit of currency. This type of currency may be considered as a illegal money because no persons has the proper account to keep this type of money. Okay, so on the basis of the digital account, so we can hold some amount of the money in our account. Okay, so today we will study some of the function of money. Okay students, today we will study about the functions of money. Some of the main functions of money can be classified into 4 categories. So broadly we can classify the functions of money as 4 type or four categories. First one is primary function, next one is secondary function, third one is contingent function, fourth one is other function, some extra functions. Okay, first we will see the primary function. So the primary functions also classified or divided as a two types. One is a medium of exchange and measurement of value. So under the primary functions, the two other functions are there. First one is medium of exchange, next one is measurement of value. First, medium of exchange. How money act as a medium of exchange. So this is considered as the basic function of money. Okay. So what is the basic function of money is that I have to act as a medium of exchange. Okay. If you want to exchange the goods and commodities or goods and services, one thing have to act as a medium. Okay. If you want to purchase any of the commodities, I have to give you another one of the things as a medium. Okay. So the money only is acting as a medium of exchange of goods and services or goods and commodities. Right? So money has the quality of general acceptability and all exchange take place in terms of money only. Because normally where the buying and selling activity will be happen between the buyer and seller in the market. Right? So in the buyer side, suppose if the buyer want to purchasing some of the commodity, so he has to provide something as a medium of exchange to the seller. Okay. So when we are giving to something to the seller, he has to acceptable that things. Okay. So when we are giving the money, so the both buyer and seller will be acceptable as a medium. Okay. So the money is act as a medium of exchange. Okay. For example, on account of this use of money, the transaction has now come to be divided into two parts. First, money is obtained through sale of goods or services. Okay. Money is obtained through the sale of goods and services. So when we are selling the commodities, so the buyer have to provide the money to the seller. Okay, and the same side, okay, money is obtained to do by the goods and services is provided by the buyer to the seller. Okay, this is called maybe purchase. Okay, anyway, if you want to involve in this exchange the goods and services, we must use one thing as a medium. Okay, so that things have to acceptable by all the people mostly, so that things must be acceptable by both buyer and seller. So when we are using the money, so the buyer and seller will be acceptable. Okay, so one of the primary function of the money is act as a medium of exchange. Next one is measurement of value. The money acts as a measurement of value. The measure of value. Why we have to measuring the value of commodity? So in this barter system, so the goods were exchanged only for the other goods. Okay, sometime if I have some highly demanded commodities and if you have the low demanded commodities, and when we are exchanging the goods for the goods, one person will get loss, another one of the person will get profit. Okay, because if I have the rice and if you have the wheat, the value of wheat is more than rice, means you will get profit, I will get loss. Okay, but in the sense, if there is any of the common measurement of value for one commodity, so there is no problem. Okay, for example, 1 kilo rice is 100 rupees, 1 gram gold is 1000 rupees, 1 kilo weight is 200 rupees, means, so on the basis of money we can exchange the commodities. Okay, so without any troubles and without any controversy. Okay, so for that some of the value of commodities or the commodities must be measuring by something. That things is also have to acceptable by all the persons. Okay, nowadays after the invention of the money, the value of commodity is measured by the money. So all the value of all the commodity is measured by the money only. Okay, so before invention of the money, so there was no mutual function of exchange the goods and services. Okay, after invention of the money only, there is no problem to measuring the value of goods. Okay, so it is easier to determine the rate of exchange between various types of goods and the community. Okay, suppose if you want to exchange the goods from one person to another one of the persons, we have to use the money. Okay, on the basis of the money, we can measuring the value of commodities. Okay, not by the other commodities. Okay, next secondary function. Under the secondary function, money act as a store of value. First one is value of commodity. Okay, in the secondary function, so money act as a store of value. Store of value mean, so how can we storing the value of commodity? Okay, so many of the persons, all the persons are having many assets, many cattle and many machineries. Okay, but the value of all the commodities have to stored in any of the places not possible. Okay, but in the same time all the persons, all the peoples are want to have the value of the commodities, have to want to store the value of commodities. Okay, but in which form they can able to store the value of commodities? It is not possible. But in all the value of commodities is convertible in the form of money, it is very easy to store. Okay, so money also acts as a store of value. Okay, for example, you have the 100 cow, you have the 100 number of the cattle. Cattle means the cow. Okay, so you have to, if you want to store the value of cow, it is not possible. Okay, but after selling all the cattle in the form of money, you can put into the bank account, right? Otherwise, if you have one building or so many of the machineries or 10 cars, so you cannot store that 10 cars in your home or in any of the bank account. Okay, but you can transfer, you can converting the cars in the form of money. After converting the form of money, you can store the money in this your bank account, right? So money also act as a store of value. Next, money as a standard of deferred payment. So deferred payment mean future payment. So the borrowing and lending were difficult problem under the barter system. Okay, suppose in this barter system, if any of the persons want to purchase any of the commodities from one persons, and when they are giving back in the form of other commodity only. Okay, because there was no money. Okay, so when the borrower give back the commodities return, so the seller is not acceptable. Otherwise, the seller will be in needless of accepting that commodity. Okay, but after invention of the money, so the borrowing and lending were became as very easiest method. Even if any persons are borrowing from the seller, the person can able to repay the amount in the form of money. Okay, so in the modern money economy has greatly facilitated the borrowing and the lending process. In other words, money now acts as the standard of deferred payment, that is the future payments. Okay, so in this exchange, the buying and selling activities are in this trade or in this commerce, so the providing goods for the borrow is inevitably. Okay, so even if we want to borrow or rendering any of the goods is easy because of having the money value. On the basis of the money value, the seller can borrow the commodity to the buyers. The buyers also can repay the money to the sellers in the same value of money. Okay. Next, money as a means of transferring purchasing power. So the purchasing power mean, so when you have the money, how much amount of goods you can purchase is called as purchasing money. Okay, the value of money. Okay, when you have some amount of the money and if you able to purchasing more commodities, the amount of commodity is considered as the value of purchasing power of that money. Okay, in our olden days, if we have the 10 rupees, we could purchase many items. Okay, but nowadays, even if we have the 1000 rupees or 100 rupees, we cannot able to purchasing some items or some number of items. Okay, so when you have the money, if we can able to purchasing more commodities, that commodities, amount of commodities is called as purchasing power. Okay, so now the money as a means of transferring purchasing power. Okay, when you are giving the money from one hands to another hands or transferring one hands to another hands, so we can easily purchasing the commodities when we want. Whenever we want to purchase any of the commodities, we can easily purchase. So in the secondary function, so money is functioning as a store of value and it's functioning as a standard of deferred payments and money as a means of transferring purchase. Okay students, next is the contingent functions. On the basis of the circumstances, what are the contingent? Contingents means some of the phenomena. So the contingent functions also will be given by the money. Okay, so under the contingent function, first one of the function is basis of the credit system. Okay, money is the basis of credit system. So business transaction are either in cash or on credit. Okay, so all the business transaction are undertaken by either in cash or credit. Okay, so in the name of cash, it is not possible. Always it will be take place without any problem. Okay, even if there is no cash facilities, or already we have studied some of the financial problem is one of the important problem in this commerce or the business. Okay, so in this time, so the credit facilities must be take place in the form of business. Okay, so when the credit is when we are rendering the credit for the purchase or the buyers or any of the businessman, how can we get back the amount mean in the form of money only? Okay, so the money also act as a basis of the credit system. So without having the money, we cannot involve in this credit system. For example, a depositor can make use of checks only when there are sufficient funds in his account. The commercial banks create credit on the basis of adequate cash reserve, but money is at the back of all credit. Okay, so all the businessmen selling their commodities on the basis of credit. Okay, but the seller or the wholesaler to the retailer, if they want to provide the credit, so the accountant must be having the accounts in the any one bank. On the basis of the amount of money in their account only, the credit is going to send. Okay, so money is also one of the basis of credit system. Next, money facilitates distribution of national income. The task of distribution of national income was exceedingly complex under the barter system. Okay, so under the barter system, we cannot distributing the income, national income. Okay, in this barter system. Okay, even if the buyer or seller want to produce enough of the commodities, all the factor of production want to get their remunerations. Okay, but in this barter system, when did they get back their income or the remunerations? In the form of only goods only. Okay, but nowadays all the distributions, all the factor of production can able to get their remunerations in the form of money. Okay, so the land, labor, capital organizations will get back in the form of rent, wage, interest and profit. Okay, so money also facilitates the distribution of national income. Okay, now all the factor of production can able to get back their remuneration in the form of money without any trouble. Next, third one, money helps to equalize marginal utilities and marginal productivities. Okay, money helps to equalize the marginal utilities mean, so we will study about later. Already we have studied in our 11th also. EQ marginal utility. Have studied. Okay, when we have the 10 rupees, we have to get the equal marginal utility from different kinds of goods. Okay, we have the 10 rupees and we want to consuming more commodities. Okay, when we are consuming more commodities, we want to get more or equal satisfaction. Okay, in which basis we will think we got the equal satisfaction or the more satisfaction mean, so on the basis of money only. Okay, so the equalizing the marginal utilities, money plays an important role because price of all commodities are expressed in money only. Okay, when you purchase any of the commodities, when we have some amount of money, we will expecting some optimum utility or optimum satisfaction. Okay, so how can we calculating the satisfaction? So when there is no value of money, we cannot able to measuring the satisfaction. Okay, but now the value of commodity is measuring in the form of money, so we can easily understand and come to know about the satisfaction. Okay, so money helps to equalize the marginal utilities and marginal productivities also. Marginal productivities mean, so on the basis of distributions. Okay, suppose on the basis of your productivity power to producing enough of the commodity only, you will get the salary. Okay, for that we have to know to comparing your productivity and your salary. Okay, so the producer and the labor also will not able to lose their productivity power and input. Next, money increase productivity of capital. Money increase productivity of capital. So money is the most liquid form of capital. In other words, capital in the form of money can be put to any use. So how can we arranging the capital? In the barter system also we will arrange some of the capital in the form of other goods only. Okay, but now after distributing all the remunerations for their capital, for their factor of production, we will arrange some of the amount of money as a capital. Okay, so now the productivity of the capital also will be increased because in the form of money. Okay, so it is an account of this liquidity of money that capital can be transferred from less productivity to more productive users. Now, as a producers undertaking one of the industries, and if these industries are not moving as a profit way mean, so he can able to transferring the capital amount or capital from one industry to another industries. Okay, now they can easily earning more profit. Okay. Okay, next other functions. So money helps to maintain repayment capacity. Money helps to maintain repayment capacity. So the money possesses the quality of general acceptability. To maintain its repayment capacity, every firm has to keep assets in the form of liquid cash. And not only that, the firm ensures its repayment capacity with money only. Likewise, bank, insurance companies, and even government also have to keep some liquid money. Okay, so money helps to maintain repayment capacity. Mean, so whenever we want to repay the money for the seller or the bank and the insurance and the money lender, so we can easily repay the amount in the form of money. Right? Next, money represents generalized purchasing power. So the consumer want to purchasing any of the commodities what they want. So it is very easy to purchase, because when they have the money only enough, they can easily purchase what they want. Okay. Next, the money gives liquidity to capital. So money only has the power of having the liquidity. Okay. If you want to have the money in the form of cash in our home, in our account, so we can easily keep. Okay, so whenever we want to put use in any one of the way, any one of the stream, so we can easily put it into use. Okay, if you want to purchasing power, we can purchase. If you want to making the capital in one of the industries, we can make it. Okay, so whatever we want to do it by using the money, it is possible. Okay, so in this other function, so the three functions are there. Money helps to maintain repayment capacity. Next, money represents generalized purchasing power. Third one, money gives liquidity to capital. Okay, student, it's enough. So today your study portion is just study the functions of money, or in the functions of money just study the primary and secondary functions only. Okay, and if you have any doubt, please ask me. Thank you.